Hello, my name is Keanu Freitas, and this is the guessing application. I am about to do the walkthrough presentation for a proof of concept. Above the guessing name, you can see the icon. That's going to be the icon for the application. This is the vision statement. We intertwine music and technology into a game, allowing us to break down social barriers and bring happiness to social events. Next, I'm going to go over the monthly activities. This is my rescue time. Pretty much just the calculation of all the time and hours that I've been putting into this project. If you look, I actually have Safari is the highest, just because I've been doing research, having to do the research document and all that, going through and figuring out what the vision statement is going to be, the problem statement, creating those personas, and looking over for the user stories, and all of this extra stuff that I needed to do in order to get a full good concept and planning out the stages for the application itself. So over the month, it looks like I've been putting most of my time into Safari. I also have about 15 hours in Xcode, and then 7 hours in InDesign, which is putting the entire creative brief together, and 5 hours for XD, which is wireframing and prototyping. Next is the productivity, so it just shows how productive I was, neutral, productive, and then it goes to the distracting sides. In the weekly software development, I have 16 hours and 13 minutes. That's just from last week. Most of my time has been in Xcode, so that's actually like building this entire layout so that I can show you and present to you kind of the layout of the application, how it's going to be working, and pretty much what I got so far. Next, I'm going to show you the Trello website. Alright, so that link will take you to the Trello board. This is actually something that we were all able to see. It's pretty much my weeks, broken down into different milestones with actual checkoff lists. So let's go through this a little bit. Week 1 was last week, so that's when I have milestone 1. If I go into it, it'll actually show, what the wireframes are that I'm going to be working on. There's a little description of what milestone 1 is, and then I actually have a checkoff list. And these are just things to kind of help me check off things, to be able to complete it. So as you can see here, milestone 1 is complete. If I go to milestone 2, it's going to be the same thing. I got a description here with the wireframes and what it should look like. So if you go into some of the weeks, like let's say week 3, milestone 6, some of them are already checked off because I have been completing, some things I would go in, and if it would be something easy to complete, I would just go in and get that finished, or when I'm taking a break from something that's actually very difficult. So that kind of allows me to take a little break. So if I'm working on something hard in one of the milestones, and then there's something a little bit easier that I can tackle, then I'll take a break and I'll go into to finish that, and that allows me to kind of have a little break and at the same time still get things done. So some of the things are checked off in each of the milestones in certain weeks. You can kind of tell here, it actually says like 0 out of 7, 0 out of 4, 0 out of 4. So these are, it kind of tells you right here on here how many I have finished. So you can go through it if you want to, and you can check it out. I also do have you guys connected to GitHub as well, so you can kind of see like the code. If you want to look at it, you can. I actually have been sending commits as well to show you, oh, I just finished this, or I just finished that, and then you can actually see, okay, this is done or not. But that's up to you if you want to check that out or not. And now I'm going to walk you through Xcode. All right, so this is Xcode. I'm going to just go through the folders that I have right now and kind of just show you a quick layout on what this is, okay? So I have in the deck folder is the deck object, so it's holding pretty much all of the decks, the packages, that holds, the phrases, the images, all of that stuff, like whether it's purchased or not. But basically, this is the object itself. And if I go down to the next one, it's the login page, or the login folder, which is holding the choose login. Let me see if I can zoom in here. You can kind of see So the choose login is this center one here, which is actually, whether you're going to be logging in or signing up. I know it might not make too much sense to you right now, but I just want to kind of go through it to show you kind of like what I have laid out before we go into an actual demo of the application. So we got the login, then we have the feed, and then it's also going to have a comment view controller where you can actually go in and comment on someone's stuff. And then the game, which is all of this is holding like the actual game feature, so the decks itself, it's pulling from Firestore, Cloud Firestore, which is Firebase. That's like where our server is, and it's holding the database and all of the pretty much the user data and all of our data. And then if I go into the game board, then it has like the actual game board, like the playing of it when the user goes and actually starts to play the game. These are the view controllers for that. And then the settings, which has the credits and my profile and all of that stuff too. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the application demo now. At the top, you can see the icon of the guessing application. So if we go in, this is where you can choose which login you want to use. So if you just want to log in, if you're not a user yet, you can create one, and you can also continue with Facebook. So let's just go ahead and create one. I'm going to use one of my testing emails just so that we can get an example going. And I can show you the verification steps as well. So I'm going to use password as the password. Okay, if I go sign up now. All right, so now I got the verification in my email. It's just saying, hello, follow this link to verify your email address. So if I click on the link, then it'll verify the email. There, your email has been verified. So let's go back into the application. So let's log in. And then it takes you into the main home screen where it displays all of the decks that are available to the user. It also has the different judge or group depending on what gameplay you want. It has the feed in the tab bar as well as the more, which is settings. It doesn't have the icons yet. I'm working on that right now to get some custom icons for the game and feed. But if you go into this game board part where it has all the decks, it is a collection view that's pulling the data from Firebase and Cloud Firestore. It's getting the name of the deck as well as the image and then the phrases as well. So if you hit medium or hard, then it'll go and pull those phrases and then it'll allow you to play the game. So let's go ahead and show an example of, let's say, if I'm going to play the music hits, which is medium. It has a countdown timer that's 3, 2, 1, and then it's going to turn to the side, and then you can flip your phone over so that you can view it. And then I have a timer on there just to go to 5 seconds, that way we don't have to play the game. And it's going to go and take you in, okay, these are the ones that you've got correct, these are the ones you've got incorrect, and then it has a back button to go back to that game view controller, or you can go and press the camera button, and that's going to show you the video that was recorded. And you can you have the option to save the video into your camera roll, or you can go back and that'll take you back to the game deck view controller. So if I go into the feed, this is our feed view controller. It's going to be a collection view as well, where you can scroll up and down and go through the entire feed and watch other people's videos and what they've posted. It also has likes as well as comments. If I press on comment, then you can actually add a comment in there and you can send it to that person. And you just say, if you go back to the feed, then you can go, I'm going to show you the more tab. The More tab has all the settings. So my profile will take you in. You can allow yourself to add a picture of yourself, or you can change your profile name and you can hit save. And if you go back to the settings, then tutorials will have videos of explaining the game as well as some videos of examples and playing the game. This is also going to be able to scroll up and down and be able to watch all different kinds of videos. If you go back to the settings, you can go into credits. Credits will have the people that were involved with the application, creating it, designing it, building it, and stuff like that. Where you can actually go in and click onto their names, and you can learn a little bit about them, and it has their information here. If I go back out, then you can go to the terms and conditions. There's a limitation and liability. This is just pretty much all the terms as far as for the application and the legal work and stuff like that. So if I go back out, you can actually log out, and it will log you out, the user out, and then you can log back in or sign up now or continue with Facebook. And that is the demo for this application. Thanks for watching. Now we're going to talk about what is missing from the application layout so far. So what is missing right now from the application so far is the actual game board. So when you press the button, whether it's medium or hard, actually going and displaying phrases and then playing the timer and then going and actually being able to play the game. Haven't added that yet into the application, as well as the video part that hasn't been added. So those are things that are missing, as well as actually the feed and the commenting. These are going to be very time consuming, and that's going to be my goals for next month. Goals for next month is going to be the game board. So that's exactly what I was talking about as far as missing, is the entire feature of being able to play the game itself. I'm going to get that done next month, as well as the feed and the comments. That's also what I was saying that was missing within the layout. And then I'm going to go and create the tutorials. I'm going to film them and then have a bunch of them on YouTube, and then being able to pull it from YouTube's API and getting it into the application in that settings tutorial page. I'm also going to go through the error handling, make sure that everything is handled correctly so that the user has a great experience and doesn't get confused by anything, and as well as the UI, which is the user interface, and the design of everything. That's going to be done next month. And then as well as everything that's combined together, I'm going to make sure that the application is complete. I'm going to have some user testing next month as well, and then I'm going to get it uploaded to the App Store. Let's go over the ideas and changes. So my ideas and thoughts on some changes that we might be able to possibly make within the application would be on the deck view controller. So like where you can scroll between the decks. Instead of having a group and judge tab here, I would probably rather have maybe let's say my decks, and then create decks, and then like purchase decks or something like that, where it has 3 different tabs, and then it gives you your decks, and then when you're tabbed on the created ones, then it'll have your created decks, and then if it's tabbed to the purchase one, it'll have purchase decks, and then that way it'll have like specific categories, or specific sections to section off the decks. And then I also want to add a search bar so that you can actually search by name of the deck, so that you can easily find it. Let's say if you create like 100 decks on your own, you'll want a way to search between those decks whenever you want to. It's just kind of a better user experience for all the users out there. And so that's kind of the changes that I was thinking could be made, to make the app a little bit more efficient. And last but not least, I wanted to give you guys the option to give me some questions, and I can give you guys some answers. So if you want to, you can actually email me at keanucollege@gmail.com. Any question that you want about the project, I can give you an answer to it, and we can discuss all of the features or anything changes or ideas or anything that we wanted to implement into the application. And that will be the end of the proof of concept walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much.